Welcome back to Simrai Fashion Academy YouTube channel for another interesting tutorial. In this training, I'll be teaching you how to sew this structure sleeve with fringes, as you can see right there on the video and on the thumbnail. This structure sleeve is actually trending, and it looks so beautiful on sleeves like this, especially with fringes, as you can see. So here is what my sleeve looks like, so beautiful. So if this is what you want to learn in this class, I will encourage you to stay till the end of this tutorial to learn more. Thank you. So to start off this tutorial, I'll be using my Ankara and I'll be using my fringes. I'll also use my basic bodice pattern, my stay, my boning, and my crinoline. So now the first thing I'm going to do first is to cut out the sleeve. So to cut out this sleeve right now, I'll just come in with my piece of, this is Ankara fabric, so I'll just fold in my piece of Ankara fabric this way. So just go ahead, and if it's 1 yard you are making use of, just fold it like this. So if you fold it like this, you are going to ensure that from the folded part you have 6 inches, mark 6 inches, and from the upper part mark 4 inches. I believe you understand. On that folded edge, mark 6 inches. 6 inches. Then you can rule the 6 inches line. So I come in with my ruler and rule my 6 inches line this way and my 4 inches line this way. Okay. So I believe you understand. This is the folded Ankara. I will repeat myself. This is the folded part. I measured 4 inches and mark. I measured 6 inches and mark a vertical line. So after that, I'll come in with my basic bodice pattern. This is my basic bodice pattern, but it's a long sleeve. So I'm going to measure this part of the basic bodice. I'll mark the part I'm going to fold. So from here, simply go ahead and take 7 inches or 7.5. You can even do 8 inches. It depends on how long you want that sleeve, but it won't get up to the elbow. So at this point of 7.5, I measured from here. I'll just go ahead and fold it. Okay, so this is the part I'm using right now, the length I'm using. So I'll just fold it right here. So this length I'm using now, this part, I'll just turn it this way. Okay, I believe you understand. I'll just turn it this way because this is the part that will be on the side of the sleeve. So that means I'll fold it back. Let me fold it back so it does not confuse us. So just place it at the edge of the sleeve like this, and then we are going to mark out the length of this sleeve. So the length of this sleeve is at the part I folded. So after that, I'm going to take the curve of this sleeve from here. I'm going to take it from here. Can you see? So I'll just go in like this to meet up the curve I have here that I was coming with right here. Can you see that? So just do what I'm doing right here. After placing it here, just start from the 4 inches and place the curve into the armhole. Then I'll just add my seam allowance of 1 inch here to meet up with the sleeve length, as you can see. So I'm done with the basic bodies. I'll take it away. So the next thing I'll do is to come over here at this edge. I'm going to take the measurement of 10 inches and mark. So once you take that measurement of 10 inches, the next thing you will do is to come up with your pattern ruler. Place it this way on that 10 inches to the point of the end of the sleeve. Then you are going to create the curve. So we'll just create the curve. Can you see? So the curve has been created. So I'll just highlight this very, very well, like this. Then next is to cut from the curved part, which is at 10 inches to the end of the sleeve. Then I'll come from here to then I'm going to cut straight, and we have our sleeve. So what I have here now, I'll use it to cut 4 pieces. But for tutorial purpose, I'll just go ahead and cut my lining on top of it. So I'll just go ahead and pick up my pieces for my lining. So I'll just simply place my pieces on fold. So this will serve as my lining. On the folded part, I'll just place it on top like that. And then I'm going to cut the same thing. So make sure you place it like this and you cut the same thing. So I'll secure with my pin now and cut fabric to cut my lining. So the next thing I'm going to do is to stay. Okay, so I'm going to stayed. So I use my collar stay to do this. So I stayed only on the lining. Please stay on the lining, not on the main fabric. So it depends on which part is your lining. Just go ahead and stay that part. So I'll go ahead to sew my crinoline. So I'm sewing my crinoline right now at the edge like this. So I'll go over to the machine and stitch it. So I'm done sewing my crinoline. So I'm going to give a space of about ½ an inch to sew my regling boning. So I'll just go over and stitch my regling boning. Okay, so I left about ½ an inch for joining. Please just leave ½ an inch for joining, and from the stitching line about ½ an inch also. Then I'm going to sew my regling boning. So when you are done sewing your regling boning, you can see the ½ an inch I gave right there, and I didn't stitch to the end, so I'll be able to turn. So this is all you need on the part of the lining. So for the part of the fabric, I'm going to stitch at the front of the fabric. I'm going to stitch the fringes. Okay, so this is my fringes. I'm going to start, also leave about 1 inch to sew my fringes. So you can see how I'm facing the fringes. So this fringes is we use these fringes nowadays, this kind of fringes. So it has front and back. If you look here, this is the back, and if you look here, this is the front where we have the beads. So you are going to be very careful when placing it to stitch, so you are sure you have it exactly at the front. So normally the front of the fringe will lay like this, so you have the beads. So but since I'm sewing it here to turn with my lining now, I'll just flip it like this. As you can see, I'll just go ahead and flip it like this. Can you see? So by the time I stitch and turn, the front will still be at the front. So I'll go over to my machine now. I'll give a gap of about 1 inch or ½ an inch. I will use my zipper foot to sew very close so I don't step on the bead. I just want to show you how I'm sewing my fringes. Okay, so they have to all lay this part. You need to use your zipper foot as well. So I just place my fringe. As you can see, I'll use my zipper foot to be controlling them, okay, so it does not step into the beads and break the beads. So this is how so after sewing the fringes, this is what I have with my zipper foot. I have to carefully sew them. So this is what the back looks like. So the next thing we are going to do is to bring back the lining. So on the right side of it, I'll place my lining right side to right side. So I'll make sure I match them up accordingly. Then I'll turn it to the other side again. So the sleeve is supposed to be on top. The fabric is supposed to be on top. So I'll arrange it and make sure the fringes are inside. Then I'm going to use my zipper foot again. Follow the stitches of the fringes. Okay, I'm using my zipper foot because the fringes are already here. So I'll go back to the machine and repeat the same process from here till I get to the end. Then I'm going to top stitch on the part of the line. So I just want to show you how it's supposed to be. So the fabric is supposed to be on top of it while we still use our zipper foot for it. So I'll just keep following the stitches I have already. I'll sew like that till I get to the end. So after sewing with my zipper foot like I demonstrated, the next thing I'm going to do is to top stitch. So in top stitching, all these seams, I'm going to flip them to the part of the lining like this, where we have the stay. That's the only way this sleeve will turn very well. So I will go ahead to my machine now and I'm going to run my stitches as in top stitching. This, see what I have on the top stitching. So I flipped all the seams so I'll be able to turn the fabric, which is the front piece of the fabric. So the next thing I'll do now, I'll open up this and match this part to this part. Just open up and join separately, lining to lining, fabric to fabric. So I'm going to use 1/2 inch to join it. That's why I asked you not to get your bead or your fringes up to that point. So I'll just go ahead and sew them separately now. So right now I've joined them separately. Okay, so I'll just clean up the edges. Just clean up the edges. So after that, I'm going to turn this. So it's easier turn this way. The part that does not have the stay, just take it up, which is the fabric part. Can you see? Then you can now go ahead and iron it to make it flat and nice. So you can see that we have a neat finishing on the lining part. So I'll just match it up accordingly. Just match it up. So if there are some excess on this part, I'll trim it off. So I'll go ahead and stitch it together first, then we'll start pleating first. So I'll just go ahead and clean up the edges. So if you have something like this, just clean it up. So the center line is here. When I put my sleeve together, this is my center. So I'll make a notch. Before I start pleating, I realized what I have on the height here is actually very, very big. Remember, we use 10 inches as the height. So I'm reducing the height from 10 inches to 8 inches. So this is it, 8 inches. So I'll just go ahead and reduce the height and blend it right into the armhole. So I don't want it too much. The 10 inches is actually too much. So I'll just reduce it, and it does not affect anything at all. Just the height, that was what I reduced, only the height. So I'll go over now and make my notch, and then I'm going to pleat into my armhole. So I'll go ahead. So I'm done sewing the pleats right now. So I have to case pleats. I brought my pleats this way, that way. So you can use any pleats of your choice. So the length we have from here now is just 8 inches, and 8 inches is just perfect for it instead of the 10 inches. Can you see that? So please use 8 inches. So I'll go ahead now and place it on the armhole. So thank you very much for coming to this tutorial, and I believe this class was helpful to you. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video, share to family and friends, drop your comment on the comment section and your suggestions as well. Thank you once again. See you in the next class. Bye.